Alright, welcome back. Today we're going to be working on the wind chimes, hopefully finishing them up. Alright, so I went to the metal shop, got hopefully some of the pieces that I need. So we have our heavy duty pipes. Also, I didn't think about it until I was putting all this stuff away the other day. But this wind chime's going to weigh like 50 pounds. And that's not exaggerating. It's going to be really heavy. So, get all my pieces out here. Oh, I didn't grab that pipe. Let me grab the new pipe that I bought, which probably laugh because it's huge. I'll be right back. Also, I just realized I don't have my mic on. There, that'll make it better to hear me. Okay, so what I was saying is today we're working on the wind chime, hopefully finishing it. I got the steel that I need, and I didn't think about it until the other day when I was putting this stuff away, but I'm pretty sure this whole wind chime is going to weigh like 50 pounds. It's going to be heavy. So, I don't know if that means much in the wind chime world, but we'll see when it's all said and done. Alright, so here are the pieces. I got my wind chimes. I have my little sail that sits on the bottom that pulls the clacker, which I don't have yet, into the chimes themselves. And they all hang from a loop at the top, which this is going to be my loop at the top. I'm going to take this and cut this down by, I just cut like probably a ½ inch piece off of it. And that will give me enough to drill my holes around it to attach the chimes themselves. And then attach it up to the hook, or in this case the little bit of chain that I have here, so you can hang it on a nail or whatever. Put a carabiner through it and hook it on anything you want. Alright, so first things first, I want to clean this off a little bit just so I can get in there. Then I'm also going to use this piece of pipe for a different type of wind chime. I think I want to actually come in and use the wire wheel on this now and knock this layer back, because when it's thinner it's harder to hit with that. So now, this won't fit in my vise either, so I'm gonna have to do it on the table and play with it a little bit. I won't be able to clamp it directly, but if I use my clamps and magnets though, I might be able to kind of fudge it. Luckily this is heavy enough that as long as it's not rolling around, I don't think I'll have an issue with the wire wheel, like moving it out of place. Oh yeah, it's pretty sturdy. All right. All right. So I'm just going to be bringing this edge back, cleaning up this inside here a little bit, just so it's easier to work with when I do cut it down. I'm sure I'll hit it again, but I'll get the bulk done now. All right. It is hot today. All right. So now that I have that cleaned back, my Sharpie will actually mark on it, so I can actually start marking out my little 1/2 inch around there. And I have this cool little thing that you put around your pipe, and then as long as you keep it lined up and pulled tight, it'll give you a 90. Like it'll give you a straight line to mark on there. So our 1/2 inch piece, which is not much. And go hair over 1/2 inch. Just because once we grind it down, like grind it flat, grind some of the pieces off of it and that. Alright, this isn't working as easy as I was hoping. Alright. Going to first just make a few dots to give me a good guide. Alright. Okay. Okay, so there, we have our line around. Now, I gotta cut this thing. So I'm gonna use the angle grinder. I'll come in with about here and just cut through as much as I can there, put the grinder down, rotate it, cut through, and just keep doing that until I'm all the way around it. And then at that point, I can take it over to the vise and put just part of it in there at like an angle, and then get to grinding. Smooth it out, get it flat, because there's going to be some high and low spots. Alright. Alright. Oh, thank you very much for the follow. I was just going to say, hopefully I can get this done today. I still don't know what I'm going to use for a clacker on the inside, though. But if I do get it done for today, this is actually going to end up being a gift for somebody. Hopefully they've been eating their Wheaties, because this thing's going to be heavy. But I suppose it only needs to be hung up really once. Pretty sure it'll last forever. Oh. Hello, nice to meet you. Thank you for following. And it's a family member. So today I'm making a wind chime. It's going to be a big heavy duty wind chime, but I'm using just recycled pipe for the chimes themselves. I have a whole series of these that I'm going to hang in a circle. This piece here is going to be what they hang around, so it's going to be the piece on top that they're all draped from. I have my fan cut out and polished. This is what's going to hang down below the whole thing that catches the wind, that moves the clacker to bounce around the inside circle of all those. And then I'm just tying them all the way up to the top to a little segment of chain, so you can hang it on anything, put a carabiner in there, hang it on even more stuff. So right now I'm tackling this big pipe, which is also going to be a different type of wind chime. I'm going to take a section, probably about that long, weld an end cap on it, and then cut up about halfway, and then put a clacker and a little fan hanging down. And so it's just one pipe, but because it's cut up the sides, it'll have that, still have that vibration when that clacker hits on the inside. I saw one at a garden place, and it had a really deep, like, resonance sound. Sounded kind of like a, almost gong-like when it would bounce around. I really like that. So I will be using this pipe. It's not just this ½ inch that I'm cutting off. All right. Last cut. Alright. Got that done and only shot one hot spark down my neck. Alright. Alright. Done with that piece for now. And that cut pretty well. See, there's a couple spots where it dug in because of the angle of that, but that's why I did it a hair bigger, so I can grind all that down and still have my same shape. So, alright, now I just need to clean this thing up. So I don't know yet what I'm going to use for the collector inside. I potentially could just cut out a piece of metal and just have a round chunk of metal down there bouncing off, but I don't know. That'll be my fallback on to go to, but I feel like it's kind of wasted. I could do something fancier with that inside. Not sure what, but I just feel like I can. do need to clean it up on the outside edge a little bit. Whatever they used to cut it with, it left a lot of, not quite slag, but a lot of crap left over from the cutting process. So there's little lips of sharp metal on there. And there's still some high and low spots, but I think it'll be fine. I knocked some of them out just now. Alright, so probably going to be hot. Oh yeah. You know it's hot when it, after grinding, it sizzles in your quench water. Alright, gives me a good chance to get something to drink and check the comments again. Oh, yeah. Thank you for inviting people to watch. Whatever, yeah, more the merrier. And, yes, I stream daily from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. Pacific time on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I work on some of the more nerdy stuff. Right now I'm making full steel Mandalorian armor. That's taking up a lot of my time. Right now I'm actually working on the back plate for it. But that's on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Except this Friday, I'm going to be gone tomorrow. But then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do more of the like garden art type stuff. So making like horseshoe pumpkins. I It's kind of a theme, but horseshoe wine rack. I'm going to be doing some more like plant, like plant holder based stuff, things like that. I've made some of these little, out of bike chains, made just some little tanks. Just fun little stuff you'd see at like just a random metalworking booth at like a farmer's market or little artsy street fair type thing. So that's Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I've got to split it up because eventually I plan on selling this stuff. No, thank you. And I've always been into metalworking. Metal just makes sense to me. If something doesn't fit, I can beat on it. I can shape it. I can melt it. I can bend it to my will as much as I want. And it's metal, so it can take it. Whereas, woodworking, you have to be much more precise. With metal, I feel like I can bully it into doing what I want it to do. I grew up on a ranch where we had to do a lot of, just welding, just simple repairs and stuff like that. So I haven't been like formally trained on any of this stuff, but I know how to do it. The stuff I do isn't the most beautiful. Like you'll see welders that are just, stacking dimes and it's beautiful. Yeah, I'm not that guy. I try, but I don't have that skill. But my stuff is strong, holds together. And I've been told it's like some of the, I made a lot for like family members and that, just little metal things for my wife's, her boss who was retiring. I made her like this little wall hanging rocket ship it's on one of the streams. I have a YouTube that I upload everything to, just all the raw data right now. I haven't got into all that editing, but yeah, that type of stuff. I've made a lot of medieval armor and some wasteland armor. That stuff's all over there. But yeah, I do make all kinds of stuff like that on this channel. And like I said, with the eventual goal of opening up my own little shop, hopefully within the next couple months. I'm pretty new to this, so just getting everything in order. All right, so next, I got this cut out. This is what all the pipes on the wind chime are going to hang off of. So in order to keep them from sliding around, I have to drill some holes around here. So what do we got? We got 6 pipes. So I'm going to need to drill 6 holes. So I'm going to mark on here. Obviously, I got to put them equidistant around it. So, yeah. These marks down. I believe this is an 8-inch pipe. No, 6-inch, sorry. Yeah, just a little shy. So let's see. We have 17 and a half inches. So if I do, so that's 17. Let's see. 17.5 divided by 5 times. 5 spaces, not 6, right? Because 0 technically counts as one on this. So 3.5 inches. I make this my first mark. And then I go 1, 2, 3.5. From there, I go to, what's that? 2, 3.5. So yeah, my thought process on streaming all this stuff is I got to be out here making stuff for my shop eventually anyway. So I had a friend that was like, hey, I like watching you do that stuff, or when you explain how you make like armor and stuff like that. So you should stream. Why not? But yeah, he has a point. If I got to be out here anyway, might as well entertain 2 or 3 people while I do it. not work. What did that give me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, it is by 5, but why is that not working out? I'm missing it by about 1/4 inch. So I'm thinking if I just go a hair under, it's got to be me just fat fingering it. So if I just go a hair under 3.5, it should. That's why I like measuring all this stuff out so many times ahead of time. Alright. And alright. Jesus, it is hot today. What does it say the temperature is? I know last week we were up to 106 in that. It says it's only 91 right now, but I think it's a bit hotter in the garage. Alright. Take another measurement here. Okay, I'm actually just under 17.5. So if I go with 17.25, divide that by 5, and if we're just 3.45. Work these out at 3.25, see what that does for me. Alright. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sweating on my glasses, can't see out of them now. I'm sure this oily rag will solve the problem. right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm just screwing all this up. Let's try 3 inches. Okay. That didn't work either. My brain's not working today. Take these Sharpie marks off. Start over. All right. All right, this is not working. Let's flip it over to centimeters, see if that changes anything. All right, so we're at 44. 44 centimeters. I need 6 holes. So every 7 1/3. Seven and 1, 2, 3. And no, that didn't give me my measurement either. Alright. I have no idea what I am doing wrong here. Okay, I think I do know what's wrong now. So, sometimes when you get a measuring tape or something like that, if you measure from just the brass end, that brass end can be off. And if that brass end's off, then when you're trying to do smaller measurements like this, it's going to really throw you off. So, and I know that. I'm just, like I said, brain's not working today. So, when I just measured that, it wasn't the same. So I'll still use the centimeters, but I'll burn that first centimeter and then just measure out. Instead of measuring to 7.3, I'll measure out to 8.3, which will give me the true measurement. I can stop looking like an idiot on stream and get this done. Okay. So we'll burn that first centimeter. Go out. Burn that first one and then go out to 8.3. If this doesn't work, I don't know what I'm going to do. Go ask my wife. She's smarter than me. Okay, moment of truth. And we are pretty spot on. Almost exact. Good enough for what we're doing. Alright, so that was the problem. Which, good to know. If I'm trying to cut something on this perfectly, this brass piece is actually sticking a little bit further out than that's not the true edge of it. Which is frustrating. Because, like I said, I do know that. I just don't know why I didn't think of it today. Didn't have enough coffee today. That must be it. That's what I'm going to blame it on. Alright. So now, drill some holes. I'll use my Mandalorian Armorer's hammer that I made. Alright. So we're 1/2 inch thick of steel, so on my marks, I'll go in 1/4 inch and try to put these holes right in the middle of it. There we go. So now that we have those marked, we'll take it over. We'll punch a hole, or punch a little divot so the drill can catch on something. Okay, there we go. Now, the drill should have something to catch on. Okay. After this project, I'm definitely going to need some more drill bits. is getting hot. Just 2 more. Last hole. Okay, got our holes drilled. Use my hand file and clean them up a bit. Actually, I'll use that file. Alright, so whenever you drill through something like that, there's always going to be some little sharp edges or burrs left over on top. Well, top and bottom. So, just move those real quick and easy. Alright. Okay, so that's pretty well cleaned. So now I'll attach all the chimes to it and see if they hang balanced. I'm a little worried because I drilled them by hand. I didn't use the drill press just because I have to get a part for it. But I did those by hand, so if they're off a little bit, not perfectly through, but off slightly as I drilled the second hole, I don't think they'll sit right. I think they'll sit just off a little bit. And if they're sitting off, that's not good. So, let's see. Line up all my chimes by size. I think that's what you'd call these parts, chimes. What do you call it? These specific ones. So, alright, there's all of our lengths that are going to tie around here. Yeah, they are not lightweight. Sounds very chimey. I'm happy with the sound so far. Felt like I got stabbed in the thumb. I thought maybe I missed a chunk of metal. But I'm learning so many interesting things in this pursuit of mine. Learning the intricacies of wind chimes. I end up looking at yard art and plant holders and all that everywhere now. Big garden panels. I pay attention to weirder stuff now than I did before, and that's saying something. Man, it's definitely heavy. I guess I didn't pick up any of the other wind chimes I was looking at, so I don't know if they were also extremely heavy, but this is humorous to me. So, alright. There's our wind chime. Well, I don't think they hang perfect, but there's slight adjustments I can do to them, and it's pretty close. So, alright. Okay, so now I have to tie strings from these holes all the way up to one, and then tie off the chain so it can be hung up. So let me do that. So I'll try to cut them all at roughly the same length, but it's not super critical since I'll just be tying the knots in there, and that's not going to be perfect. So there's one. Two. Three. Four. All right, one more. Okay. tying little square knots in here because it's a nice strong, pretty basic knot. We'll see if these fail and I gotta get extra fancy later. Okay, just slipped. Didn't break anything. Although I'm not sure what there is to break on this big, giant, heavy-duty thing. Alright. Now that I have all these tied, okay, that was dumb. I don't know why I did that. Okay, I'm gonna do a different approach. Tie them. think what I'll do is I'll get all these on here, and then I can hang it and come back and adjust and tighten up each individual one. But they'll all be on there, so they should be supported by each other. I think that'll just make it a little bit easier. Right there. Just kind of slapped together, but God, I don't know if I have anywhere to hang this big ass thing. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, it's failing under its own weight. All right. All right, so don't really have any place here to hang it and mess with that part, so I think I'm gonna have to do that in my backyard. Really don't want to hang it from the garage door above me because it's not very strong and that thing's heavy. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do this part off camera. For now though, until I figure out, essentially all I'd have to add now is this fan at the bottom, string coming up, some sort of clacker in the middle, and then that just ties straight through everything to the top and ties it in there. So that would be the last little part. So I think only thing left to do right now would be to figure out what clacker I'm going to have in the middle. So let's see what we got. So I've been meaning to get into more sand casting. I have some really old casting sand where you have a little container, you put your sand in there, then you stamp in your imprint, and then you take a molten metal, pour that in there, and you end up with like a 2D, obviously it's flat on top, but whatever's underneath there, it's like a 2D image. I have the stuff to do it. I have to set up and fire up the forge, which wouldn't be a big deal. I gotta go get some more propane, so I won't be doing that tonight, but I think that's what I might end up doing for that little centerpiece. For the clacker in the middle, I'll just take some aluminum. Yeah, I'll just take aluminum and make a disc about that big. A little bit smaller than this here. Yeah, about that size. And I'll pour that. I'll do, I don't know, maybe some little writing or something on there, or something fancy. So you take whatever design you're gonna make, and cut it out of hell, cardboard would work fine. And then you just mash that in there to get your basic shape, and then you can either carve in the like a negative of the image that you want on there, or take something else and stamp it on there. So I think I'll do that, because that won't be too hard to do, and I can get that set up for next week. I like that idea. Plus it allows me to procrastinate just a little bit more on this, which I'm also good with. Alright, so I'll check the comments, see how much time I have. Oh, hello, new person. Alright, so let's see, it is 7:32, so I have a little under 30 minutes left. Alright. What else can we do? So I can get started on that other wind chime with this big pipe. I can get, yeah, I'll do that. I'll start segmenting that piece out, because I can start cutting that, and it still follows along with the title. But for now, we have a very loud wind chime. Sort of. All right. So one of the reasons that I wanted to do a wind chime specifically too is I saw when I was researching stuff by just going around to like garden stores and that, and looking at how much they were charging for their stuff. Wind chimes are one of those things that didn't seem crazy complicated to me. It's just a few pipes. And now having done it, it's essentially the same thing. I just got to get down a better way to get the knots on there and get everything like measured out a little quicker. But now that I've done it once, that's what the prototype's for. You learn all the little things and how to do it faster, cheaper, and of higher quality the second time. I don't know what that was. All right. So for the other type of wind chime, which I think will be simpler, it's just one big pipe that's cut halfway up on either side, has a clacker in the middle, and then has a lid on top of it. So it's kind of like a squared off bell almost. I'm going to do that with this pipe. So measure out, figure out how much I have. So I got about 28 inches. They don't need to be real long. So do some quick phone math. All right. So we have 28 inches. If we divide that by, we make them 8 inches long, gives us 3.5, but we keep the last half for other wind chimes like that, so I can cut out the little segments. So if I were to do 8 inches, that would give me 3 of that type, which 8 inches would cut off about there. I think that's plenty long enough. So, all right, I like that idea. So I'll come in 8 inches from this edge. It's a pretty decent edge. Alright. Cut 3 of those out. Then I just got to make that cut up the side. And yeah, it should be golden. And then on the top part of that is where I just cut like drill like 4 holes and then attach those up to the chain, which holds it up top, because the clacker on the inside will just tie to this top part of the plate inside there. So kind of like, it's essentially making a rounded off bell that just has a little fin that hangs down that catches the wind, and has a couple cuts up the side of it. But other than that, it's the same basic principle. It's a pretty simple design. And when I was messing with them at the garden shop, making them chime off of each other, I actually like the sound. It's kind of a deeper, almost gong-like sound. All right. So we're going to go 8 inches. First, I'm going to skewer this pipe. It's too big to fit in my vices, so I have to get creative. All right. All right. So this isn't the most precise way of doing this, but if I make enough dots, it should be pretty good. And it's not like this has really tight tolerances or anything, so should be all right. Alright. That's why you wear gloves. So, get this wrapped around here. It's hard to see black marks on a black painted pipe, but we got it. Okay, we have our mark. Now, chop through it. Okay. All right. And we'll throw a cutting wheel on the grinder and get to work. There we go. Finish this cut on the table so that big pipe doesn't go bouncing around the garage. Alright, here we go. So with this, I'll come in and weld a plate on top. Doesn't need to be anything too heavy duty, but I have some steel that's a little bit thinner than this, so I suppose it doesn't really matter, but it'll be able to hold up that weight for whatever reason. So if I'm going to make it heavy duty, might as well make it heavy duty. But first, I want to clean that off, get it not perfectly smooth, but much closer. This side isn't near as bad as this side. This side I screwed up a couple times and there's some high spots. Let me first check the time, see how much time I got. Alright, 7:54, we got 6 minutes. Alright, well, that's enough time to do a little bit of grinding. Hopefully, grinder's hot. Yeah, grinder's a little warm right now. Alright, I'm going to have to take a minute to take that wheel off. I should probably let it cool down anyway. It's too hot to touch right now, so it's probably not great for everything inside of it. Alright. Well, if anybody has any questions or comments or insults, whatever you got, you can post them in there and I'll check on them here in a second. I'm going to take this time to sweep up the shop a little bit. It's getting a little cluttered and dirty. So, yeah. Like I said, I won't be here tomorrow, but Monday I will be back at the normal time. And I'll be working on the Mandalorian armor again. On the chest piece is pretty much done. All the pieces are attached to it. It does have some polishing work to be done. Some little finishing stuff to make it look a little bit nicer, but all the pieces are there. No more pieces need to be welded on or shaped. Just some beautification work, that's about it. But the back plate, all I've done on there is attach 4 pieces around the outside, so it's going to need quite a bit more work, but it's all pretty much the same type of stuff that I did on the front piece, so it should go much quicker. Because I understand what I need to do where now and in what way. So that's the whole point of making prototype projects. They take forever, they're more expensive, they're more frustrating, but that's the whole point. It teaches you what you need to know for building the next one. Which I do plan on building more suits of armor. Not just Mandalorian. I am going to be building several, like 5 more, I think, suits of Mandalorian armor for different people, but it's going to take some time. Luckily, a lot of the other pieces, the chest piece and obviously helmets, are by far the most like intricate and complicated piece of armor to make. When you get down to like making leg armor, like any types of leg armor too, it's easier because legs are pretty straightforward. There's only so many ways you can armor a human leg. The only difference there is whether you have angles or articulation or like rounded bits. If you add in different materials like leather, or how you attach it, where it sits on the boot, stuff like that. But it shouldn't be too bad. I think for the Mandalorian stuff, the vambraces, the arm armor and that might be a little more complicated, because that has some gadgetry in it that I haven't made before, but excited to mess with it and see. I might do some more of that sand casting for some of the little intricate bits on the arms. Oh, nice, a cheap viewer bot. Let's see, how do I ban you? There we go. All right. What was it? Ah, broom. Surprising amount of steel powder on the floor. Cutting and grinding. Alright. Much nicer in here when it's clean. Alright. Well, I think that about does it for today. Yeah, it's already 8:02, so alright. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the follows. And I will be back on Monday to work on the Mandalorian armor again. There's the front, and there's the back. Front's pretty much done. I just got to add some more pieces to the sides here for the back plate. And smooth this off. And then once that's done, then I think it's going to be attaching the shoulders. So I already have those roughly shaped out. The leather straps. Don't know if those are going to be the right size that I want or not, but yeah, these will come off of here for the shoulders. Just like that. Sit a little bit higher, but yeah. All right. So we'll be working on this on Monday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific time. I'll see you guys then. You have a good one.